What's going on, guys? Nick Lesagore here.
Brandon Delakia.
Exit 12
Brewery.
in the house.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Been a long time since I've been able to say in the house.
Right. That's right. That quarantine action kept us away from brewing together, but we're back, baby.
Brandon's back.
Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, that's the Kawhi.
What it do, baby?
Brandon's back. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, man. Oh, we social distance. We're not social distancing right now.
We weren't social
Oh, you're sweaty. You're sweaty. Ooh.
We weren't social distancing to begin with.
Haha.
Well, we were in the beginning, but today we haven't been social distancing.
That's right.
That's why Brandon hasn't been on many videos. But we're here. We just completed a brew day of our Saison from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Some minor differences, so we're going to name it differently, but it was the SJ Pour Challenge Saison that we handed out as part of the BrewTubers Homebrew Club at Homebrew at HomebrewCon at Club Night.
Yep. Last year.
Last year.
Not online.
Not online this year, no. It would be very hard to hand out a beer through the interwebs.
They haven't made that technology yet.
Not yet.
Still in beta. Yeah, just take a sip right in the middle of it.
That's right, baby. So, really pumped about the brew day. Ran into some snags, as you'll see. The Robo Brew, I filled it with our strike water, go upstairs to take a shower, come downstairs, smell smoke, and see that it is indeed smoking.
I think it's R.I.P. Robo Brew. Unfortunately, it's looking that way.
Yeah, we're gonna do some things to try to figure out if we can help alleviate the problem. But looking at the board, the circuit board, it is fried, and we will show it to you now. And so it's definitely a goner in terms of the board. So we're gonna look at our options and try to figure out something. We probably don't want to give too much away now, but we'll try to figure something out.
Yeah.
The good news is we had a secondary electric system, the mash and boil.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty, it was actually gave us a chance to use it. We haven't used it since we had the Robo Brew, just because we got used to the Robo Brew and the Beersmith had all our dead spaces and everything in there, our equipment profile, but we used it and it didn't go horribly. I think it went better than expected. I think we put it through its paces and it did okay.
Yeah, I think so. We utilized the mash and boil, as you've seen, to heat up sparge water. So I think this time for us, running into the snag wasn't great. But the good news was we are familiar with electric systems, so it wasn't a complete loss, as Brandon mentioned. We were about 0.07 points short of our OG, but we nailed our yield, and efficiency took a little bit of a bump. But I think that if we take the time, if it ends up being like this, if we end up going more towards the mash and boil in the future, if we take the time to dial in some things, we can really get it to where we want. It's a little frustrating that we have to take the time to do that, if that ends up being the option we go with.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I think it definitely, like I said, it wasn't horrible. It did 75% of what we can do with the Robo Brew, and with a little modification, I think we can get there if we had to use this. But like I said, we're looking at our options.
Yeah. So other than that, things we have coming up. For now, the Saison is sitting in the fermentation chamber. There's an issue I have going on with my floating waterproof laminate floor, where it's starting to create this wave on the top, and it looks like it's bubbling because of the humidity here. So I'm going to be calling the contractor on Monday morning to figure out what our options are with that. So I would rather not brew. We can do it. It's not around the brew area. It's actually right to my left. It's around the inventory area, but it's just something that we don't want to have to deal with. And then, as you'll see in the video, we dealt with some other issues like the Robo Brew and another thing. So in terms of dealing with issues, I think Brandon and I are good at dialing in how to handle those issues and calmly and effectively.
Well, yeah, I think we've been through so many of them. We've had so many Nightmare Brew days that I think we know now how to troubleshoot a lot of the stuff, and we usually are able to push forward and get a brew day that doesn't last 20 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you'll see in the video, we got the Scylla. It worked awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. Really pumped about that. And the brew day overall, considering everything we went through, I'll consider it a success. So cheers to that, man.
Cheers.
Check out some of the video.
Nice.
And cheers. Welcome back, Brandon.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, after much time away,
Yep.
and then running into an issue with the Robo Brew, we have the mash and boil. So let's finally, 2 hours later, mash it.
Let's do it.
So we're all mashed in, 1.7 quarts a pound. I really love not having the center pipe that the Robo Brew has, because it made mashing it considerably easier and it went a lot quicker. So let's we're gonna start the pump, and we're off and running. All right, we are about to sparge, but the flow is just amazing. Unfortunately, we didn't show much on the pump because we weren't able to get it going consistently. So that's something Brandon and I will take a look at. But we are heating up. You ready to sparge?
Hell yeah. So we're just sparging now with a little over 3 gallons of sparge water. We're just using room temp water because this is normally our sparge water heater, but since our Robo Brew was having major issues, we had to use the mash and boil today, so we're just going to go with room temp. We should still be okay.
So Brandon's out here fixing the spigot because it was leaking and it wouldn't turn off. So I had to turn off the water to the house because I can't seem to find the singular water shut off to the outside, which would be good for New England winters. But regardless, Brandon fixed the spigot possibly. Let's take a little peek. The guy's a regular fucking MacGyver. Brandon, what's your one rule?
Water, washers. Always, you got no washer in there. Friggin' the plastic deteriorated. Yes, anytime there's a leak, put a washer on it.
Brandon's a big washer guy. So we got this fixed, now we can use the wort chiller when we're ready to. 60 minutes. Time to add an ounce of Eureka that we got, or half an ounce, a quarter of an ounce. This is a quarter of an ounce of Eureka, and thanks to Hopsteiner for the hops. Simple as that.
Alright guys, 10 minutes left on the boil. We have half a Whirlflock tablet here, half an ounce of, not an ounce, half a teaspoon of yeast nutrient going in. We're also going to put the new jaded Scalia in there to sanitize it.
Scylla.
Scylla.
It's the Scylla.
Scalia.
Dummy. Alright, we just terminated the boil. We ended up doing 10 minutes longer than a 60 minutes, so we did a 70-minute boil because this is our first time really using the mash and boil to brew, and we weren't happy with the OG. So we ended up going up a point or two, so I think we're good here. Now we're going to move, for the first time using the Scylla.
Scylla.
The Scylla.
Got it.
We're going to move this now over to the window where we have a hose set up, and we're going to bring it down to 185, and we're going to whirlpool for 10 minutes.
We'll just do fast forward.
There's a little foam padding bump here. Ooh.
Got it.
I'm going to move the beer over here. Perfect. Plug this in. We're going to bring it down to 185. We're going to run some tubing, some hose, and we'll be back. All right, Brandon's going to turn on the hose. We are moving. I don't know if you can see that. Brandon's messing with the hose out there, but so far, this is the setup. Just right out the window. Easy peasy. We have to worry a little bit about flies coming in and stuff like that, but I have my deck overhead, which keeps us in the shade, which is nice. So here we go. We're going to cool down. Let's see how long this takes.
30 seconds.
Okay, we vastly misunderstood the power of the Scylla, because that might have been 20 seconds, and we're down to 149. So we're gonna try to work up a little bit. We're not gonna sit here all day and mess with it. We're gonna whirlpool. We were gonna whirlpool at 185, but maybe we'll do it at like 155 for 10 minutes.
Alright guys, the Scylla worked way faster than we thought it would. Less than a minute, we got down to 155. And
150.
150. And we wanted to whirlpool at 175.
185.
185. So we kicked on the element again, stirred it a few times, and we were able to get to 175, which I think is good enough for us. We're going to start our whirlpool now with Yarlow and Eureka hops. Stop telling me what to do, jabrones. Alright, let's do this. Since we don't have the pump, we're doing old school. Little muscles. Little muscles delicia here.
He's happy to be back, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's not proper language for the YouTube channel. Sorry, guys. If there's children watching, I'm sorry.
Nick will bleep that out.
Okay, it is 12:06. We started this at about 2 past 12, and we are at 9. We went from 181 to now it's 91 degrees. 90 degrees. Unbelievable. The Scylla is absolutely killing it. Brandon agrees. We wanted to get to 74. We got down to 73. And it's 10 past 12. In 8 minutes, we got from 180, just about 181 to 73 degrees. Unreal.
Do you have a... Alright, we're at 78 degrees. Time to transfer.
73.
73. I'm the worst with degrees.
Alright, we are all set. We yielded 5.5 gallons, which for our first time using the mash and boil, we really didn't do many calculations, so we nailed that. 5.5 gallons is just what we wanted. We have a starter with the Imperial rustic A34, I think, yeast. And we're gonna pop in the whole thing. This is one of the more clearer yeast starters that we've done, which is interesting. You can see the yeast cake sitting on the bottom. We could probably siphon this off, but we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna pitch the whole thing. As Brandon says, time to pitch.
Fuck you.
The lights of the homebrew gods shine upon us. And we're all done.